Overnight, a big development. A barge with a crane able to lift 1,000 tons arrived to the side of the fallen Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore.
But there is still significant work to be done before the salvage operation can get underway. NBC's Tom Costello is at the Port of Baltimore with more.
Good day. So the first salvage cranes have now moved into position here in Baltimore. Among them, the biggest on the East Coast, able to lift 1,000 tons. Other cranes also moving into position, including the crane that lifted the Miracle on the Hudson plane out of the Hudson River so many years ago. I mentioned 1,000-ton lift capacity. That's great, but that piece of bridge that is right now hanging over and lying on top of the ship, that weighs 4,000 tons. So what does that mean? They have to cut the bridge up into massive chunks before they can then begin lifting it off with the crane. And the problem is much of this is, of course, underwater. So that means divers must go in this very dark, muddy water. They'll have to go in with lights, with cutting torches, and cut it all up to lift it out. But that twisted metal is razor sharp, posing a potential risk to those divers and also to any ship. So they've got to get all of this debris up and out of the channel. They cannot leave anything on the floor of the river, on the riverbed, or it could pose a risk to future ships. The timeline, probably a month or so at best to clear all of that out, and then they'll begin working on a design for the new bridge. But the movement now to begin the salvage operation, at least the planning stages will move forward now that they have started to gather the cranes in position here in Baltimore. It's going to be a very long process. I'm Tom Costello at the Port of Baltimore. Back to you.
The ship that crashed was not being escorted by tugboats, and now maritime experts are saying the disaster is drawing new attention to whether the escorts should be required for longer, a move that shipping companies resist because of the added cost.